Hey guys, welcome back. It's Dana, and I am back with a brand new series that I have seen some good videos on, so it kind of inspired me a little bit to do it. It's called Story Time, where you essentially talk about something in your life and maybe there is a moral to the story, maybe not. For this one, I actually do have a great moral to the story, and it does totally relate back to the core concept of my channel, which originally it was to talk a lot about being a type 1 diabetic and whatnot. So the moral of the story will tie back into that. So this actually happened before I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Essentially what happened is I was traveling out to see my family. I believe I was going to see Rita to get my hair done, and then for whatever reason afterwards I went to dinner with my mom and my stepfather, probably because they were around, which to me would mean that it was sometime in December, just their schedule on when they go to Florida and whatnot. So probably like the beginning of December is when it happened. And for record, I didn't get diagnosed until the December 23rd. So that's kind of chronology of how I remember things happening. Anyways, so I had got my hair done by my sister-in-law Rita, and then I had went to my mom and my stepfather's and had dinner with them, and I was feeling really tired, so I went to Tim Hortons and I picked up an extra large coffee, which I had today as well too on my way back from Ridgeway. But yeah, that's kind of besides the point. So anyways, what happened is, yeah, I went to Tim Hortons, picked up a cup of coffee, was drinking it on the way home. Now when I went to Tim Hortons, I actually probably already had to go pee at the time, but I didn't, because I didn't go in. I wanted to go through the drive-thru, get things done fast, and get out of there and get home. So I proceeded to drink an extra large coffee, and it was pretty smooth sailing that day on the way back to Toronto. So with reference, my mom and my stepfather, they live in Conestoga, which is just outside of Waterloo. Basically they're like a hop, skip, and a jump away from Rim Park. And yeah, depending on traffic and whatnot, it can take anywhere from an hour, best case scenario, to probably like an hour and a half, worst case scenario, from where I live right now. Or actually, this is when I was living with my partner at the time, and it was his place. But yeah, I mean, his place is not that far from mine. So anyways, I had headed back to Toronto, drank this cup of coffee, had to go pee very badly, and I got back to the condo, and it was underground parking, and I parked, and this cup was empty, and I couldn't hold it for the life of me. Like, I knew, you know when you get outside, and it wasn't even outside, it's underground parking garage, right? So it was a little bit cool, but not as cold as it was outside. Anyways, I felt the, like, oh my god, I've had it before in my lifetime where I've had to go pee so bad where I didn't make it. And those are probably some other story times, but focused on this story time, I had to go so bad, and I saw the cup, and I'm generally somewhat resourceful, so I said, I'm not gonna make it upstairs to go pee. So I took the lid off, and I proceeded to put it down there, and I pretty much basically had filled up the cup, and then I put the lid back on and threw it in the garbage, and then grabbed my stuff, went upstairs, and proceeded to go pee even more. So I clearly really had to go. I had to go a lot, and yeah, to fill up one of these, and then I went again, and I went a lot. So the moral of the story is actually definitely related to diabetes, and some of the precursor symptoms that you get, and this is for type 1 and type 2. Precursor symptoms to diabetes is you are very thirsty often, you are tired often, and because you're thirsty often and because your body is the blood sugar's so high, so you're constantly urinating all the time, and those things are key indicators that you could definitely have an issue with your blood sugar. So if you happen to know somebody that is a type 1 diabetic or type 2 diabetic, both of these types of diabetes require you to use a blood sugar monitor. And if you're having any of these symptoms, just ask them if you can borrow a test strip and give it a try. And for reference, people that have fully functioning normal pancreases, if they are in a fasted state, their blood sugar should be in the range anywhere from the 4s to the 5s. Anything above that is actually what would be considered pre-diabetic, which is what you get diagnosed with before you get diagnosis of type 2 typically. Type 1 is different, and I've talked about that in other videos. But yes, then if your blood sugars are above that, that is definitely an indicator that you need to make a doctor's appointment ASAP and get in there to find out what the issue is. I will say one of the things that I have learned about myself now is I'm far more an advocate for my health than I'd ever been in the past. And that's just not to say that I didn't take care of myself before. It's to say that now, when almost anything happens, I do not procrastinate it as much as I did actually at the time of my diagnosis. So that is my first story time, guys. Obviously, the moral of this story is twofold. It's always good to be resourceful, and it's always good to be the advocate for your health and take care of yourself. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and if you like this video and you like this series, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell to receive emails when I will be uploading videos. These story times will not have a regular basis like my Tip Tuesday or my Motivation Mondays. Basically, whenever I feel like it, I will put one of these out there for you guys. So thanks so much for tuning in, and always remember, guys, life's a journey, not a destination. So buckle up and enjoy the ride.